Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Telltales, our supplemental D&D talk show where I, Francis, as the Dungeon Master, sit down with one of my players to get feedback, talk about the session, catch up, and hang out and talk about all things life and D&D. On this week's episode, I was able to hang out with Maddie, aka Libby, and it's a little bit different from the previous episodes, but I would say it's pretty fun. We stream our game every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Tales of Octavia. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into it. How are you doing, Maddie?
Doing pretty good. It's another day in quarantine.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I think at this point I'm just gotten used to being cooped up all day.
Yep. It is what it is, but D&D gives me a nice break, and it's the only way I know what day of the week it is anymore.
Yeah, as soon as I'm pretty much like dead set on Mondays being the only reason why I even keep track of the days.
It's the only one that makes the other 6 days worth living.
Anyways, it's been a while, a little bit, a hot second since you've come back.
Yeah, I don't think I've done it since like the first episode of the new campaign.
You've been out for, I mean, not, well, I mean, you were here like just 2 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, true, but I know it feels weird just because I had to miss last week, which that was funny because you only had 3 players that time because Matt was in Kansas and I had food poisoning, so that was just double whammy of 2 of us were just out.
Oh yeah, definitely. You missed out on a pretty good amount, actually. Well, I mean, nothing super important, but as soon as you come back in, we're like, hey, so your pseudo dragon's dead.
Baby is dead.
Was dead for the first time.
He got better.
How I want to say how did it feel coming back in this sort of circumstance?
It's really good. I like that the campaign is finally starting to feels like pick up a little bit of steam, and it actually feels like we're getting into a plot now, which is nice.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty true. You definitely progressed a lot more this session. I mean, it's nice and a lot more. I don't know. I feel myself more motivated for this campaign compared to last campaign. So I'm just so. I don't know. It feels good.
I feel bad for Salim though. Literally anytime he does anything, and I'm just like, this isn't even funny anymore. I just feel fucking bad for him. He's such a pathetic little waste of a man.
Hey! He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, yes. Then all of us are like, ooh, who's she? And then like we find out that she is both a lesbian and married, and it's just like, dude.
There's a complete whole backstory that I wrote for that. Poor
Is the
Zane.
backstory just he turned her off of men forever?
No, I mean, you. I mean, I will say for a fact that he did not turn her off from men forever. That's not. I like to think that's not how women work.
That's not, no, it. Proud bisexual myself, that's not how it works.
You know, I had this whole. I don't know. I had this whole thing where I had this whole idea that you would convince Zalim to essentially be a full time member of the group. But then I realized, no, he'd probably die within the first few sessions of him actually being inducted.
I mean, it's like a common theme in all of our fights where Zalim is just standing there in the background, like, you guys got
He
this!
is the Tristan of the group.
He
He
needs to
is.
become the bard.
He is. He is essentially the Brock to Ash from Pokemon, or Tristan to Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Does he just
Uh,
make? He
yeah.
doesn't make us food. We need. He needs to be our full-time cook. He needs to go full Brock.
He pays for your lodging.
Okay. But he's not going to make us one of his special jelly donuts.
In fact, he probably doesn't know how to cook.
He needs
Oh,
help. He also needs a confidence boost. I just feel bad for him. Just anytime he does anything, he's just failing miserably. Like after we meet his family, it's like, oh, I feel bad for him. He does anything, I'm just like, are you okay? You
you,
okay, bud?
you know, Zalim's whole archetype is that he Zalim's whole archetype is that he's trying to exist in this world of like things are set. You know, you have to be this, you have to be that. Your sort of whole future has just been laid out for you, and you're just like, I don't. Am I doing this? Kind of like Nemo from Finding Nemo, where he's just like, I'm swimming.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad.
He touched the butt.
I need to rewatch that movie.
I need to watch Finding Dory. I never even saw that one. Do I need to?
It's okay.
Not as
It's
good as
not
the
Toy
first one.
Story 3 or anything, but
Is it Toy
I know
Story
what
4?
we can just let that one die. We can just pretend that one didn't exist. No, but it is a decent movie. It is not the original, but you will have a decent time. I don't regret watching it. It's not like the Star Wars prequels, where after
What?
watching them I feel like my time was actually wasted.
Did you what? How old were you even when okay, if you were a kid and you watched it live, it was
I
not
was a
bad.
kid and I didn't like them then.
I thought they were good. Well, I do have some bias cuz uh the very first prequel, the very first movie, The Phantom Menace. There you go. Phantom Menace was the very first time I actually set foot in a movie theater.
No, I'm sad to say. This sounds funny to say, but The Phantom Menace actually was my grandpa's favorite movie, specifically because he did not give a shit about special effects or anything. No, he loved special effects. He didn't give a shit about what the storyline or the plot line was. If you just like showed him a reel of like sweet special effects, he'd probably just be there like, "Yes, give me more."
Oh gosh. He's a Michael Bay fan. That's great.
He didn't. I don't think he lived long enough to see any Michael Bay movies, but he probably would have been. He probably would love those movies.
Oh bless him. He's like one of two people I know that likes Michael Bay films.
My ex liked Michael Bay movies, and that's what I should have known.
Ah, good. That's why they're an X.
That's when I should have just known, like, I should have just been like, I don't think this is gonna work out.
Yeah. That's yeah. But anyways, yeah, Zleem's trying to exist, and even
One
though
sec, I heard a knock at my door. I'll be back in a second.
okay, I'll just keep talking. So hold up. Zaleem is a person that is trying to exist in a normal world where everyone's telling him to be this, this, and this. However, he is completely. He is not like anything that everyone tells him to be. He just wants to be him. And he has this intrinsic. I want to say. Intrinsic sense of self where he doesn't really know what to do, so he's trying to do many different things. Kind of like the whole. He's kind of like. I don't know if. I wonder if anyone has ever played Life is Strange, but he is basically the brother in Life is Strange 2, where essentially as the party grows, he kind of grows with them, and then he is whoever the party essentially makes him to be. So that's pretty much how he is. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much the whole Zaleem character. Do-do-do-do. This is definitely not the way I expected, chat. I guess, well, Maddie's gone. I just want to say hi, how are you? I'm drinking tea right now. It's, is it weird that there's no music in the background? I mean, I know it's a podcast, but like, sometimes I think I should add some sort of lo-fi tune to the background. Maybe, something a little bit more chill. Let's see. Can we put something like an interim? Let me see, right here. I hate silence. Sorry about that. Oh, man.
I have returned.
Oh, okay.
Apparently my parents called the carpet cleaners in, and I was not made aware of these events.
Fun.
So they're gonna carpet clean my room, and I'm just gonna hide in my closet.
Okay.
It's not so bad. I spent 17 years in the closet.
Ta-cha. You're like, Harry in the Harry Potter film.
Yes. Okay, back to Telltales.
Yes. I put some lo-fi in the background just to fill the void.
That's what lo-fi is good at doing. That's what lo-fi is meant to do.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so let's see. You traveled on for a bit. You fought some lizard folk.
Yes.
You fought some lizard folk, then you eventually made it into the city, found Zalim, and then went or figured out what you can do to grab the attention of said ruler, and Jaya offered you 2 missions, which is essentially poisoned water in the lower districts, which no one's doing, which you guys chose, and then dealing with missing people in the middle of the night.
I mean, I'm having fun with them. I like all the little side quests and everything. I was low-key, that last one we did, or it feels like the last one that we did because I haven't been here that last week, but that last thing we did with like the kid and like the lady, like that whole thing, like I had like so many things going, and then like I had no idea where it was going. And it's like, wait, did y'all ever have kids? She's like, yes, we did. I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. Everything just suddenly clicked into place.
I'm definitely trying to become more. I'm trying to build my stories more. Try to be better with my storytelling, because
I like him. You're doing a good job, dude.
Well, I mean, writing a story is a lot different from running a campaign. So having you and the rest of the party kind of choosing what to do definitely keeps me on my toes. I'm very surprised you guys split the party. That was very interesting.
We're like 75 feet away from each other. Are we really splitting the party?
Because they can't go back up.
But we can go down to get them easily.
I mean, you can. But you guys don't want to.
Also an option.
I mean, the whole tightrope was pretty smart, not gonna lie. definitely thought that you were going to stick together as a group, honestly. But, you know, you never cease to amaze me.
They're within yelling distance.
Well, you don't know this, but there's another waterfall going down deeper on their side.
Right, okay.
So it's gonna well, we'll see what happens. It's not a I'm not a big fan of splitting the party, but sometimes you can't really. It's kind of just what happens.
In the campaign I was DMing for, which got weird because I'm not actually the DM anymore. Like, I built the world, and then my friend Nate really wanted to try DMing. And so I basically handed the reins over to him, which has been pure and utter chaos, but it's been a good time. But back when I was still DMing for that, he and like the two other players like all split off into three things. So I was like, each of the three players was in a different spot, and I was having to control what all three of them were doing. And I'm just like, stick together, god damn it! I can't keep writing three plot lines.
Oh god. That's why you converge all the storylines and be like, okay, so this is either you guys are gonna act like a party or I kill all of you.
No, but they would do things where Nate's like, I'm gonna wake, is like, okay, you wake up, and he's like, okay. I'm like, are you gonna go wake up the other two? And he's like, no, I think I'm just gonna go down to the hat shop. And like one of them goes down to breakfast, and the other one's like, hey, you want to go to the armory with me? And then they're like, no. And he's like, okay. The other, well, they're like, okay, so one person's at the hat shop, one person's flirting with the barmaid, and one person's at the armory. And I feel like that meme of the cat, like, you know that meme where like the cat's trying to hold on to a few things and it's got a scared look on its face, like, ah!
Oh. I was thinking of the cat meme where it's the two women yelling at him and he's just like, eh.
It's a good meme, but anyway, that's just how it is, because one person's like shopping for this. I'm like, okay, you're done at the armory. Are you gonna go back to the tavern? No, I think I'm gonna go to the bakery now. You wanna go get your friends and ask them if they want to go to the bakery? No, I'll go alone. I'll meet up with them later. I'm like,
oh yeah. There comes a point where I don't know. My patience could not do that. Could not deal with that nonsense. I would have been like, okay, you go to the bakery and you see your two companions there. Hello guys, what are you doing here? We wanted breakfast. Okay.
yeah, that's the same one where now that Nate is DMing, I'm playing the pink tiefling bard character, and that's fun, but it's also, you can just see, like, I know it's his first time DMing, but Nate has just wrote a really decent storyline for like our first arc of it that was like 3 sessions, like, yeah! And then he was immediately like, Maddie, you want to take over again? I'm like, no, you gotta keep going. And he's like, this is all I wrote. I'm like, you gotta come up with a new story now. Keep going, buddy.
Yep. I mean, yep, that's DMing for you. Some, like, I remember back in the Dark Ages when you and Guy first joined, I had this, and I'm not talking about when we reset, I'm talking about the very first time when the two of you joined. I had this whole thing set, and then I'm like, okay, well, I have more things planned, but I'll deal with that afterwards. But then that didn't happen. There's always a thing where I feel like if you're writing definitely an ongoing campaign, you need to really take your time with it. Otherwise, I mean, if I had an adventure that was maybe like 3-4 sessions long, I'd probably just end it there and do like some sort of time skip or something, and then adventure 2, and then so on and so forth, and then it becomes a whole campaign. So
that's why one-shots are great.
I like one-shots. It's just that, I don't know, in my experiences, I've come across too many people, because it's a one-shot, it's just kind of like, it is what it is. I don't like chaos, Maddie.
You don't like chaos? Why do you have the five of us then? We thrive on chaos.
Drinking. I mean, chaos. There's a form of chaos that I readily accept, but then there's like absurd chaos that I cannot accept. It's a thing.
I feel that in my bones, though.
Yes, that is definitely what my bones taught me.
What do the bones say?
Eh.
That's become an inside joke with my friends here who listen to the last campaign. Of any time someone's like, hey, where should we go to dinner tonight? Everyone just goes, what do the bones say?
Please tell me someone has like a bone dice set.
My skull dice haven't come in, but I'm getting them.
Ooh. Then make a little list and then roll for it.
No, I just need one with a d20 with like a skull little thing in it, and then I need just a few of them with just the miscellaneous bones.
Have like have those the weird dice where they're like cylindrical and they spin. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those
are fun though. I'm about those.
I've never used them for like an actual game, but it's definitely maybe I could find a use for them sooner or later. I have too much dice.
There's never enough dice.
Yes, until you run out of places to put them.
I haven't quite gotten there yet, although I did a thing recently where I'm like, okay, I have like 4 sets. I'm not allowed to buy any more dice unless it's specifically like character dice. But I want to get, like, I'm borrowing this idea from Jenny D, the YouTuber, because she does this.
Yeah,
Jenny she has D. Like a set of dice that's specifically meant for a character, but then she got like mini dice for her familiar, Nightshade the Dragon.
Oh my gosh!
I kind of want to get a mini set that's for baby, and I just get a fancy little dice box and be like, okay, here's Libby's dice and here's baby's dice.
I mean, hey, it's your. I don't know. I wish I can get dice that I actually can compete with the players. That would be nice. I didn't roll anything above like I rarely rolled above a 10 last night, which was not fun.
But remember that thing I said, if you have I can't talk today. If you have bad dice karma, become the DM, and everyone will be happy when you roll like shit.
Except for you. Heck no.
I do believe the curse is lifted.
I don't know. Maybe I need to have a dice jail. I was looking online and I saw someone put one d20 in the freezer and then leave the freezer open and then let all of the other dice see. That's definitely something I would probably do.
They gotta sit there and think about what they've done.
Oh yeah. There's some weird there's some weird dice out there. Or maybe I'll get a dice jail. Oh, dice jails are definitely a thing. And then I can be like Laura Bailey and then have like 100 sets of dice.
I forget which TikToker it is, but he has like literally an entire like whole shelf of dice. Like it is literally looks like there has to be at least 100 of them there, and I'm just like, are you okay, dude? Like I love dice as much as the next person, but it's like, are you good? Are you okay?
I mean, you can go crazy with dice.
They're so nice though. Like I know like there's like one set of dice that I have that I literally haven't rolled in like a year. One because it's cursed as fuck. Like, you know that pair of dice, the ones that I never rolled above a 10
Didn't
on.
you give them to Michael, though?
Different ones. For those of you listening, if you want to know how bad my dice karma is, I have 2 cursed sets of dice.
Yes,
One of them
she
went
does.
to Michael.
She gave one of them to Michael, and then Michael started rolling 20s with them. So I give up.
Now, the thing about this one is it's cursed, but it was the first set of dice I actually bought, so I can't, like, justify getting rid of them.
Ooh, I can justify getting rid of my first set of dice.
Like, I got them from Barnes & Noble, and they were literally, like, I think, like, $7 for, like, all of them, and they're such crummy plastic, but it's like, those were the first ones of the collection. So I can't get rid of them. They have to stay now.
My first set of dice was it's the purple swirl dice. Oh, okay. My first set of dice was the set of purple swirl dice. Let me see if I can pull that out really quick. Actually, I don't know if they're still here. Ah, here they are. Podcast listeners, I'm sorry, you'll have to watch the Twitch stream or the VOD on YouTube. But, focus. Come on. Can you see this, Twitch? Chat? Anybody there? Can you see this? This set of dice. Very first dice that I had. And I still use them occasionally, not as much as before, but
I returned.
Oh, I was just showing chat my original set of dice, which is this one.
Oh, pretty.
Which I rarely use now because they're cursed as hell.
That's how they do, but it's like I can't get rid of you though, because you were like the first ones in like this weird little hoarding obsession that I have.
I mean, I don't know if I could get rid of my first metal dice that I have.
The metal dice are expensive as heck though.
True, but I don't know, they're very me. I got them just because of the clunk.
The thing is, I like metal dice and I like the feel of them. But I remember my friend brought them over for the first time, rolled them, and instantly just scratched up my parents' dining room table, and I was just like,
oh yeah, if you have
fuck.
If you have metal dice, you need a dice, something to roll your dice on. Like, let me see if I can even show this. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on, I should probably take out the dice. That'd probably be a good idea. Oops.
They're probably still at Hatter's, which is like our local game shop.
I don't know if you can see.
That was by where we went to college, but they had these opalite dice sets, and opal is my birthstone, and I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but most of the jewelry that I do own is opal. And like I saw them, I'm just like, I shouldn't. That's like half my paycheck on one set of dice, and like they're so delicate, and they chip easily. Like it's not a good investment. He's like, you just want to take them out and look at them? I'm like, yeah, well. And then I rolled them, and I immediately rolled a nat 20. And he just looked at me. He's like, well, you have to get them now. And I'm just like, I can't justify this.
Maybe they're still there.
They probably are still there. Those things are expensive as hell.
Hey, I mean, I am very tempted to buy this. I'm very tempted to buy the dice that is worth like $100.
And I see this thing all the time where so many people are like, oh, if you can't afford the full set, just like buy a D20. But I don't know if this is just like a me thing, but I hate having parts of a set and it being incomplete. Like if I have something, I want like the full set.
Oh yeah, you hate Frankensteining dice?
Yes, I hate Frankensteining dice. Like I know Michael has Frankensteined a set of dice and it works out really well, but there's just one of them that's slightly different than the rest of them, and it just, I don't know if I'm slightly OCD, but it just bothers me.
Goodness, I don't know who. If I can get Michael to roll lower, I would sell my soul. That man, I don't know. I don't know if he's scuffing his rolls or whatnot, but I swear to God, he rolls nothing below a 10.
Hey man, sometimes that's just how the odds work out. Some people are just lucky with dice. Remember that session where you rolled 11 11s?
Yeah. Well, 11 11s is one thing. I mean, you know, is what it is.
I miss having halfling luck. That was always nice whenever I remembered to use it. Just because I roll nat ones more often than I probably should.
Yeah. Looking back now, if I remembered, I probably would have reminded you.
Oops.
Oh well. It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
I'm a chaotic player. I forget what the rules are sometimes. I'm also a chaotic DM, and if my player does something and someone's like, that's against the rules, and I'm just like, I am god of this universe, I'll allow it.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I don't know, it's more fun that way.
Oh, buddy. I don't know. If you were there the very first campaign that I DM'd for, no, I would never be like that ever again. It is definitely why I'm not chaotic.
No, someone brought this up to me, but I think they saw it somewhere, but we have a potion that is called it's a poison that's called Cusco's Poison. The poison specifically for Cusco's Poison. And if you drink it, it turns you into a llama, and you have the body and mind of a llama, and the only attacks you can do are hooves and spit.
What? Oh my god.
You just get turned into a llama, I forget what it was exactly. I'd have to pull up the sheets, but it's you roll 1d6, and that's times 10, and that's how many minutes you stay a llama. If you roll a d6 and it lands on 6, you have to stay a llama for a full 60 minutes or an hour.
Okay. Interesting. Why would you ever want to turn into a llama?
Why not?
Sure.
I don't know. Ask the chaotic murder hobos I play with.
Oh god. I know that DMing those players, or not exactly those players, but murder hobos.
Yes.
If you only were around when that time when Greg killed the blacksmith.
I was around when Greg got killed on multiple occasions.
Right, deservedly so. You know, I don't know. It's
It is what it is.
It's weird. Well, I don't know. This campaign so far has been I don't know. It's been fun in theory. I need more. I don't know. I need more time to really get it all together because holy crap, it's a lot.
You can't compare it to last campaign, because even though it was starting to fizzle out at the end, and that's why we all needed a change, that was going for almost 2 years. So it's you kind of can't compare that to this.
I mean, true. This campaign I only had 2 weeks to prepare, but having, I don't know, I want to say, I don't know, last campaign was a train wreck. It was just an ongoing train wreck.
You're incredibly right. I had fun.
Oh god. It was fun, and I was happy. I was having fun that you guys were having fun. I don't know if it's does that even make any sense? I was having fun because you guys were having fun. I'm like, okay, well, this is my job now, so as long as you guys are doing that, I'm happy. But then, over time, I'm just like, yeah.
It is what it is. But I'm having fun with this one too. I feel like I'm actually starting to like Libby a lot more now because I liked her when I made her, but then like playing her those first few sessions, it's like I don't know if I enjoy playing this character. And now like over the like last 2 sessions I played, it was finally like, okay, this is starting to click. I actually enjoy you now.
It takes time.
Yep.
And I don't really know what the heck is going to go on because, I don't know, when I was talking with Michael a few episodes ago on this channel, or should I say on our YouTube channel, link down below, and he was telling me that the whole Etan Libby dynamic is, he's like, I don't know how long Etan's gonna keep up with this. Maybe one day he's just gonna snap and just be like, okay, goodbye, Libby, and then that's it.
What?
And I'm looking at Michael, and I said, bruh, no.
I'm about to send him a text. That boy's got some explaining to do.
I'm like looking at him, and I'm just like, no. It's definitely go you there's an acceptable amount of edge. I don't want the party to fight each other, at least not now.
No, I love Greg. It sounds like I don't love Greg because I complain a lot about Greg, but I love Greg. I promise I love Greg. I love him dearly. But
I am definitely pulling the plug on anybody that, like, it's one thing to change the route of a campaign, but it's another to just purposely go out of your way to fuck with the players. There, I said it. Someone clip that.
Sorry, I'm sending a message to Michael right now saying he has some explaining to do. What does he mean Etan is going to leave Libby?
I mean, not now, but eventually. Watch. He's gonna come up right now somewhere.
We just see him pop up in the chat. I heard you guys were talking shit. No,
Hey,
but
man.
it sounds like I don't love Greg. I do love Greg dearly. But just the fact that, like, campaign was going great. I loved Lavernius as a character. And then we started the podcast and suddenly Lavernius became a fuddy-duddy and constantly had to fight everyone in the party. And I'm just like, dude, why? It's not fun.
I don't know. I gave up on it.
He's one of those people that I commend him for this because I need to remember this sometimes. But he sticks to character integrity so hard that it's like dude, he's like, that's what my character would do. We're just like, yes, but you're kind of being a dick.
Oh, dude, it doesn't even end with Lavernius. Even Nick was a dick.
Occasionally, yeah.
Come on. You see a roof, you're in a bed, you're not tied up, you are completely relaxing. Oh, this is someplace I've never been before. I'm gonna turn into a fucking T-Rex, and I'm gonna smack my way out of here. Like, what the fuck?
He's like, I've never been in a tavern before. I'm like, you've been in a building before.
He has a room at his parents' house that has a roof and a bed.
You clearly know what this is, my dude.
Like, I don't know.
I did love Nick's parents in that arc. They were so wholesome. I was about them.
They're fun fact, I imagine them very similar to Grandpa from Superman.
Oh, I love it.
Where they're like wholesome. They know how to deal with things, but they're not powerful by any means.
But good. I'm about good wholesome energy. Those are always the characters I gravitate towards, or like, I guess like celebrities and stuff I gravitate towards, like just sweet, wholesome, you give me happiness energy.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's good. At least in this campaign, there's more wholesome energy, I guess.
Yes.
Question mark.
Just wait until we meet Libby's parents.
Hey, I mean, It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Part of me can't tell when y'all are like interested, or you're just kind of like going with the flow for a little bit, or permanently going with the flow. I get that vibe a lot.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know why I do this. This is just like a random thing, but every time we complete a combat thing, my brain immediately goes like, "Oh, it's bedtime. The characters need to take a nap."
Oh no.
Which, and then like it's like we look around and you're like, "Okay, it's the middle of the day." I'm like, I don't know why my brain just always revert to that fights happen towards the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, but you guys, I mean, like what happened. You guys, I offered you guys a rest, and nope, everyone said no. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess everyone is susceptible to this. To frostbite is what I meant to say. You know.
We all freeze to death. That's the end of the campaign. Make new character sheets, guys. Goodbye.
I have a lot more attachment. Well, I have more attachment to you guys, but death is still on the table.
I mean, we learned with Gnak that death is definitely on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I can't do that as a DM. Like, when someone was kind of on death's door in my campaign, I was just like, oh god, I don't want them to have to make a new sheet, and just like had an NPC. Like, NPC didn't actually have anything on them, but since I'm god of this universe and I can do whatever I want, just pulled out a healing potion, and on their turn just like shoved it down their throat, like, here, don't die. And they were just like, yes, we did, and we managed to make it out of that alive. I'm like, I love your characters, I don't want you guys to have to make new ones.
I think it really depends on the group, because, I mean, if you have people who really care about the characters, you don't want to... I mean, you want there to be consequences, but you don't want to just outright murder them.
Yes.
But, like...
There are times, though. There are times when someone's being annoying, and I'm just like, I could kill you off right now.
Especially, I want to say Greg, Matthew, Michael, because... I don't know, sometimes... I get this vibe of when they're playing a game, and this is like a video game to them, where it's like, oh yeah, if they die, well, it's okay, because I'll roll up a new character. And then when that happens, it's kind of... there's like no attachment. Does that make any sense? So then...
yeah.
When they actually get into a point where they... you know, when it gets to a point in, like, either the story wise, they like... I always see y'all, like, I don't know, either zone out or come up with... I don't know, like, just... Sometimes I feel like when death is not on the table, y'all just... there's just no point in playing.
We just get a little too cocky.
Yes. And which is odd, because especially people like Michael and Matthew, they're the type of player where they want to min-max, so they want to optimize their character sheet, their character class and stats and everything. That's why I did the standard, because last campaign there was this whole slog of, well, 2 members of the party just do everything, and then the rest are kind of just there, and I don't know, I didn't like that dynamic at all. Because, like, for instance, I know we keep talking about campaign 1, but like the Griamore arc, Marcus, they're each I don't know if you remember, but you guys fought keg golems.
I remember that.
Okay, you guys were all, I think, level 10 to level... I don't remember what level y'all were at, but... like, Marcus alone did half of everybody's... the whole party's damage
That's because homebrew classes are broken as fuck.
Yes, but also before that, even the in the I forgot which battle it was, but I remember there was one time where Lavernius, as a monk, did almost all the party's damage. And
Oh
they were only level
yeah.
3 or 4. And then I'm like, okay, well,
See, that's the thing is they design their characters based on what would be cool in combat. I feel like I always have the strategy of just like, role playing is like my bread and butter with D&D. Like that's the stuff that I have the most fun with.
mm-hmm.
And so like I designed that around like, oh, if I got a high charisma, then I can convince people to do things. Or like, oh, I need this for like this kind of situation. Like combat to me just feels like an afterthought, which it probably shouldn't. And I tried to play it pretty middle of the road this time when I was creating Libby.
Yeah.
But they're always just like, what would be good? How do I kill the most things the most efficiently?
Well, the purpose of that was because when I pitched the campaigns to you guys and I gave you that pitch doc, the campaign y'all chose was the most combative.
Yes.
So like, you signed up for it.
We did. And I love this storyline. I like that it's I don't know, I've just been liking it. I like the idea of treasure hunting and like fighting a few monsters along the way. It feels like it has flowed really nicely this whole time. Like it's starting to pick up a little bit more now than it was at the beginning. But the whole thing has just flowed really nicely and just felt really cohesive, at least to me. And I think that's what I really like about the one that we chose.
Mm-hmm. I think it went pretty well. I don't know. There were definitely times last night where I'm just like, well, shit, I don't know what you guys are gonna do because
Stop being so hard on yourself.
I mean,
You're doing a good job.
well, I do what I'm given with.
You're doing a good job, dude. It's okay.
Anyways, we're just about out of time. So I just want to say thank you, Maddie, for joining me.
Hope you enjoyed my weird little tangents and my kooky personality.
It's always fun to just hang out and catch up. So, anyways, that's gonna do with us. That's gonna do with us today here. As always, we stream our game every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also post the replays on YouTube, and all of that is in the description down below. And as always, we love you very much, and we will see you in the next episode. So,
Bye-bye.
bye, guys.